Creative people basically, they trade in EQ. So in other words, it's a human response that's appropriate, and we have to keep reminding brands that that's actually who they're talking to. They're not talking to the spreadsheet. They're not talking to the shareholders or the returns. Ultimately, who they're talking to are the people. And if you don't pay attention to that, you run the risk of people revolting against your brand, and it's happened. What interests me the most is it's almost like this big revelation that, you know, touching human stories are suddenly like the way to go. They've always been the way to go. Great storytellers, great writers, great directors have all been telling human stories since the beginning of time. Now suddenly, like, you know, the big brand has decided that, oh, this is a good idea. We always knew that. So the benefit hopefully will be that we will start seeing advertising people getting budgets to actually make great stories and human moments, rather than hard sell, get to the thing, where's our, you know, what's the call to action. So hopefully that's going to happen. I've been working on this idea of what is the moment when an artist connects with people. And for me, after lots and lots of thinking and watching people and performing and failing and then working and figuring it out and then failing again, and there's a sweet spot. And I honestly believe that when you're in that dead center of your audience, when you're absolutely one of them and you're observing with them, you're not showing something to them, that's when you are truly like in the sweet spot. And I think it's the same with musicians, artists, speakers, brands, all of those things. The shared world is like the shared experience where we all exist when we are paying attention to each other. So we have like our own world, and then we enter the shared world for moments of interaction. Now, the way I see it is when advertising is bad, it never leaves the brand's world. Ever. It gets better when it exists in the shared world. It can be advertising, it can be a great performance, it can be great comedy, great music, great leadership, a great relationship, any of those things. So the shared world is when you absolutely get it right. And so what I've done, and I didn't have time to do it today, but I basically have tried to work out some steps that would allow you to checklist if you really are heading in the right direction. The 3 states, the first one is to be above everyone else, and the other one is to be below everyone else. And the weird thing is that's not permanent. So the same individual can swap between those, and you'll know that you probably had this today in your own life, is you've swung between being on top of something and then a victim of it. Whereas if you're in the middle, and I know it sounds like a ridiculous consultant thing, but if you look at someone like Gandhi, who didn't use a massive army, he had a nappy, basically, but he positioned himself right in the people and he felt what they were feeling. He was able to stop an army. Well, we've always believed that you schmooze a client, right? Well, no, it's like an alcoholic. If you just manage them, you're enabling them. And it's exactly the same thing, like it's the same wisdom. You've got a problem in that you've got someone who's not in the creative field professionally, and then you've got someone who is in the creative field, and the one's paying the other. So why should the one without the experience guide the other one? It doesn't make any sense. There's a presumption that left on our own, we'll just wreck everything. But then we'll be ruining our own business, so it doesn't make any sense. So I feel we need to educate clients a little better, be a bit more firm, set boundaries, just, you know, allow us to guide this part of the process.